Good morning, everyone. This is the fifth and final day of our in-service training. To formally commence our in-service training, let us have our nationalistic song. This will be followed by our prayer.
Ang bayan ko'y tanging ikaw, Pilipinas kong mahal, ang puso ko at buhay man sa iyo'y ibibigay. Tungkulin kong nagampanan na lagi kang paglingkuran. Ang laya mo'y mabantayan, Pilipinas kong mahal.
Dear Lord, we praise and worship you today. You are exalted in our midst. We ask for forgiveness for every sin we have done. Have mercy on us, our Father. As we start our program today, let your guidance and protection be upon us. Send your Spirit to us and give us wisdom. We thank you for all the blessings we have received. We also thank you for the lives of the people in this place. Be glorified in everything we do. In your name we pray. Amen.
Once again, a pleasant morning.
This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning, fellow educators, sa lahat ng mga kaguruhan ng Francisco G. Nepomuceno Memorial High School. Magandang buhay po sa inyong lahat. A lot has been learned since day one of our in-service training, and I just wish and hope that I give justice to this topic, strategies for developing critical and creative thinking, topic assigned to me by our very own dynamic school principal, Sir Hermes B. Vargas. Allow me to start my presentation by sharing with you the legendary story of the Chinese recipe shared by Dr. Nico Lawrence Losing of Nabotas Polytechnic College, De La Salle University, Manila. The untold story of the legendary Chinese recipe. In the old library, there is a legendary Chinese recipe that is written in Mandarin. Many people always read this legendary book, and bringing out of this book is not allowed, so people were trained to photocopy the recipe. After having the copy of the book, people get out of the library because library is not meant for cooking. And people go to their houses to cook this legendary recipe. The recipe is written in Mandarin, and people used to translate the language using their dictionary. Once they have translated the recipe, they start now to cook this in their kitchen. During cooking, the ingredients were added, taste is being modified before it is served. After all, the dish now is ready to serve. Have a nice meal. Well, my dear teachers, reflecting on the story, nakaka-relate tayo. No? Relatable siya doon sa work natin as a teacher. Yes, you're right, my dear teachers. Just like in the story, we teachers play a vital and significant role in delivering instruction to our learners. We just don't teach. Rather, we find ways on how to teach and how to deliver our lessons meaningfully, effectively, efficiently for our learners to learn. Each of us has a unique set of teaching strategies. Tama? Diba? Pag nagtuturo tayo, we are coupled with so much strategies. Your strategy, ang strategy gagamitin mo, will define exactly of who you are and what kind of teacher you are. And sometimes, we are remembered by our students doon sa strategy ginagamit natin. So regardless kung ikaw ay beginning, experienced, or seasoned teachers, we teachers have so much teaching strategies to offer sa ating mga learners. Now, why do we need to strategize? Bakit kailangan nating gumamit ng mga teaching strategy? Mahalaga ba to? Mahalaga, di ba? Para sa ating mga learners. Yung strategy that we use, it's just like we are selling it. Pag nag-market ka, buy and sell. Make sure gamitin mo na you are selling your stuff. Make sure yung students mo. Why? Bakit? Because as the saying goes, God, what I see, I remember, and what I do. With this note, we all know teacher is an active process. So to engage and motivate our students. Kasi natin, ang unang ginagawa natin, we have to engage. We have to involve our classroom discussion. Kapag na-engage, we can say that learning is taking. Using the right strategy, yun ang best strategy. Yung meron tayong guide and using yung mga strategy ginagamit natin. Okay? As Maria Montessori, ang sabi niya, the greatest sign of success for a teacher is to be able to say that children are now working as if I did not exist. Ang dami sa ating mga teachers na ganyan, right? Naiiwan natin ang mga estudyante natin, tapos ginagawa nila yung mga task nila. Why? Kasi na-motivate natin, na-engage natin, na-involve natin sa ginagawa nila. Okay? But, one except the word change. Lahat ay nagbabago. Everything has changed. even yung mode of delivering instruction natin sa ating mga learners. Gone are those days that classroom teaching revolved around the seats of the stage. Tama? Now, have you ever thought na mangyayari sa atin yan? Naisip ba natin na So dito makikita natin na nagkaroon tayo ng paradigm shift from traditional to digital. So then, nagkakaroon tayo ng faith sa ating mga estudyante. Nakikita natin sila, nararamdaman natin sa atin, at naiintindihan ang sinasabi na nakikita natin sila. Nagbabago, nararamdaman natin sila, classroom to classroom, nakikita natin yung education is being delivered now digitally. And wherein ang kaharap ng mga estudyante, yung screen yung window ng area. Kung before, sa face-to-face roon, open doors and opportunities sa ating mga students, right? Sa ating literally face-to-face mga pintura ng mga classroom natin. Pero ngayon, we just don't open doors. They also open yung window ng ating mga laptop. Yan ang kaharap nila. Okay? This is one of the changes na nangyari din sa system nila. Okay? Na pag-deliver ng education is sa ating mga estudyante. Na nangyari din sa system nila. Okay? Na pag-deliver, it seems was just yesterday sa ating mga estudyante. Now, dito makikita natin ang students natin, nagkakaroon sila ng interaction, sharing. Now, dito makikita, meaning to say, yung strategy na ginamit mo is effective sa kanila para sila ay matuto. But now, nagbago yan. Ngayon, ito yung scenario ngayon. Nasaan ang mga students ngayon? They stay at home. Ayan. Together with yung mga loved ones nila, yung family nila, yung mga siblings nila, yan ang present setup ng kanilang learning gadget. And this one, nakikita, ito yung normal na scenario sa atin ngayon. Yung mga nagmo-modular with the help of the parent, tinutulungan niya yung kanyang anak na maintindihan at ginagabay niya kung ano ang gagawin niya at paano niya sasagutin ang mga nasa loob ng mga learning activity sheets na meron sa kanya. And this one is also another scenario. Now, since they just stay at home and gadgets, using cellphone ngayon ay hindi na bawal. Na before, pinagbabawal ng eskwelahan, pinagbabawal natin, even sa bahay. Once na nakita natin ang anak natin na naglalaro ng kanilang mga cellphone, too much of overexposure sa kanilang gadget, binabawalan natin. But now, hindi natin sila binabawalan dahil alam ni parent, in the mind of the parent, na nag-gadget, ginagamit ng anak yung cellphone sa kanyang online learning. So tendency is, yan ang nangyayari kahit nakahiga siya, sige lang, naka-online siya. And then, ang scenario ngayon is, since wala tayong face-to-face, flexing ngayon ang mga students dahil nasa bahay lang sila, pwede silang matulog at mahirap silang gisingin sometimes. Na-experience yan ng ating mga magulang kung paano gigisingin para lang makapag-attend ng kanilang mga online class ang kanilang mga anak. Ito yung mga real scenario na nangyayari now. Ito sa normal na to. And look at this one. The father is assisting yung kanyang son, facing perhaps yung while listening to the lesson discussed by the teacher, but take a look at yung kanilang expression. Siguro dito, if I'm going to interpret this, sasabihin ng dalawa, wow, I do not understand, something like that. Or, yay, I got it, something like that. And this, look at this one, since the kids, they just stay at home, hindi ko naman sasabihin yung mom, problematic siya, but ngayon sasabihin ni mom, hi, napakahirap pa lang magturo. So you see, hindi natin alam na nagkaroon ng, walang sino man sa atin ang nag-expect na magkakaroon tayo ng shift, yung paradigm shift na tinatawag natin, from traditional to digital teaching and learning. Another, even yung pattern ng test, yung sa exam natin ay nagkaroon ng evolution. Here, before, it says here, in year 1995, sabi ni teacher, answer all questions. Bakit niya kaya nasabing, thanks for coming? O hindi ba we experience na kahit isa lang, sometimes, madalas, I have witnessed, no, one co-teacher sa atin dito sa school natin, isang estudyante lang niya, okay? Pero tinawid niya at pinagpatuloy niya yung kanyang pagtuturo. So that's how committed yung mga teachers, no, sa pagbibigay ng edukasyon sa ating mga kabataan. Another, yan, before, yung learning competencies na dapat ma-master and ma-develop ni learners ay nangyayari yan, na-achieve yan inside the classroom with the help of the teacher as a facilitator. But now, the new normal, okay? Nasa yung learning competencies, nagkaroon ng decongestion of the learning competencies to most essential learning competencies. And ito din yung adoption and formulation of the basic education learning continuity plan or the BELCP for school year 2020 and 2021. Bakit? Because education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. What does it mean? It means to say, with or without, lalo na, with or without COVID-19 pandemic, education must continue. And that's what we are doing, teachers. We continue delivering education to our learners because we believe na yung mga kabataan ay talagang pag-asa ng ating bayan. Another, that education is a continuous process. Today, our new normal. Okay? So the word normal here, dito sa left ko, the elder stands for me. It stands for me as learning. Okay? And then yung E here, the education blends. Kapag may education, then there is an assurance. For me, I believe na one should deliver education, quality education to your learners. Magkakaroon ng learning sa ating mga estudyante. But look at yung pagbabago. This is now our new normal. So, ano pong nakikita natin dito? So, ang nakikita natin is, meron tayong mga pina-follow na safety standard. Look at yung pagbabago. Nag-wear na tayo ng our new normal. And indeed, this is not ano pong normal. Hindi ito yung normal before. So, ang nakikita natin is, and what comes to the mind na makakasalubong mo, safety standard. Look at yung pagbabago. Nag-wear na tayo ng our new normal. And indeed, this is not ano pong normal. But, nagkaroon ng pagbabago is, nag-wear na tayo ng safety standard. Naka-wear na silang lahat ng kanilang mga face mask. Kaya today, kapag wala kang face mask, sasabi nilang normal ka pa rin. But hindi ka naka-face mask, normal. Meron na lang nilang wearing face mask today is now. Wala kang face mask, normal. Sasabi nilang now, based on their self of the electronic assessment nilang wearing patient teachers, objective now of knowing one and knowledge and pedagogy. It says here, applied arrange teaching strategies, develop critical and creative thinking, as well as other higher order teaching skills. Ito yung lumabas sa strategies of patient teachers, yung level and priority nila for professional development. So these areas this is one of the areas of prioritization teachers, kailangan professional development. So these areas applied arrange teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking as well as other higher skills. So applying arrange teaching strategies, ito yung develop critical strategy here as well as critical and creative ng ating mga learners. Tama? Ito yung develop critical strategy. Kung mapapansin ninyo, yung critical here and creative are the two C's of the 21st century components. In creative, kung mapapansin critical, ito yung skill na kailangan ma-develop at ma-master ni the learners. Therefore, as teachers, we need to help our learners develop yung kanilang necessary skills. Bakit? Kasi kailangan natin learners ang mga strategies natin, kung ito ba ay swak or anchored doon sa skill na you want to develop. Remember, teaching the 21st century learners is not an easy task, but happy to say we are all century teachers, 21st century teachers. Therefore, teaching the 21st century learners sa atin, hindi na masyadong mahirap if may gagawin tayo. Ang gagawin natin is we have to reflect on the methods na ginagamit natin sa pagtuturo. Kailangan we need to unlearn those things na hindi na applicable sa present situations natin. We have to think of ways, we have to strategize ng mga methods na applicable sa scenario natin sa kasalukuyan. Okay? Another is we have to be flex to the needs of our learners. We need to consider ano nga ba ang kailangan ng estudyante. As teachers, you should know that. Kailangan alamin mo muna ano ba ang need ng mga students. Doon ka mag-start na mag-craft ng method mo. Doon ka mag-start kung paano mo ila-scale yung learning sa kanila. You have to plan ng mga students. Doon ka mag-start na mag-craft ng method mo. Doon ka mag-start kung paano mo ila-scale. You have to plan sa kanila your lesson, no? Para mas maintindihan ka. And you have to plan sa kanila your lesson, no? Para mas maintindihan ka. And you have to plan sa kanila your lesson, no? Para mas maintindihan ka. And you have to plan sa kanila your lesson, no? Para mas nag-iisip ang teacher, nag-iisip yung mga kaguruan, no? Okay, so nag-isip na tayo ng mga bagong methods natin, no? Tsaka yung way of teaching natin sa mga estudyante kasi ang kaharap natin, alam natin that we are century teacher, 21st century teacher, dealing with 21st century learners. Okay, and knowing that our students are digitally native. So we have to also open yung doors of yung mind natin to new learnings. Kailangan as teacher, hindi tayo dapat left behind sa ating mga students. I for one, ako, kahit sabihin natin experience daw, or seasoned teachers, gusto ko pa rin makipagsabayan. Although hindi natin masabayan ang mga young generation ngayon. But sino makakapagsabi na lahat ng teachers ngayon ay high-tech, nag-integrate na sila ngayon ng technology teaching because of this new scenario in delivering education to our learners. Wala nang sasabihin na si teacher na yan, hindi siya nag-integrate ng technology. Wala na. All teachers nationwide are now delivering education to our learners. Wala nang sasabihin na si teacher na yan, hindi siya nag-integrate. Paano natin? Ulitin natin, sabi nga natin, paano natin matuturo sa bata na maging creative and critical. Next, teachers, we have to teach our learners how to think and not what to think. It's very important and different. How to think rather, not what to think. How's that? Okay? Iba yung how to think, paano sila mag-isip kesa doon sa ano ang isipin nila. How to think and not what to think. Then if you do this one, if you teach your students how to think and not what to think, then perhaps you are on the right track. Okay? Nade-develop sa kanila yung kanilang pagiging critical and creative thinking skill. Okay? Now, ano nga ba ang critical thinking? Pag sinabi natin critical thinking, this is the ability to think in an organized and rational manner in order to understand connections between ideas or facts. Students will learn to decide what to believe in. So in other words, ito yung thinking about thinking. Ito yung metacognition, right? They know how to process yung kanilang prior knowledge and ideas, and they are able to connect it, yung present, nako-connect nila doon sa, yung past, nako-connect nila doon sa present. So na-mental process nila yung isang statement. And then meron silang kakayahan or capability and ability na i-organize ang kanilang mga thoughts. And so that after organizing the thoughts, after weighing the result, magkakaroon sila, they will come up with a conclusion na very just. Okay? That's why kapag ang bata ay critical thinker siya, kanina I made mention, hindi na siya magpapaloko. Kasi napaprocess niya na ang isang bagay. Nagagamit niya yung kanyang mga skills, nako-connect niya yung prior knowledge niya dun sa kasalukuyan. So it's just like thinking about thinking, or yung kaninang nasabi natin, it's a metacognition, thinking about one's thinking. And kapag nagawa na yan, yung critical thinking kasi of the learner, yung skill na to, ito yung kumbaga, this will serve as a catalyst, no? Ito yung magiging driving force para mag-come up ang isang bata ng new idea. So, yung kapag na-process niya ng maigi ang isang bagay, and idea in mind, doon nag-start ang kanyang pagiging creative. Tawag nating skill na creative doon sa base doon sa kung paano niya na-process ang out of that, nakakapag-create siya ng new idea. So ang critical thinking here, yung skill na to, ito yung magiging, for me, ito yung magiging as a catalyst. I-ignite niya, no? Kumbaga siya yung force, a strong force, a driving force para the students will thinking na isa na yon na pagiging creative nila. Okay? So when we speak of creative thinking, this is the process that the students use to develop ideas, useful and worthy of further elaboration. Ito yung creating something new or original. At sa mga students natin sa kanila. So minsan you just guide them and then work, and then you nag-serve ka lang as parang you just initiate, and then this their expectation, they come up with a big idea, and then ang galing-galing nila, ang dami-daming lumabas na ideas na pag pinagsama-sama, ang naging result noon ay lumabas ang mga bata. And nakita natin yan, we have seen that, yung mga outputs nila. Iisipin mo, wow, ang galing ng skill na to, ang galing niya dito sa ganito, something like that. Na we teach, appreciate natin. Meaning to say, itong batang ito, may potential siya, may skills natin is kung paano i-enhance at i-develop yung skill na yon. Role ni teacher, kung paano natin talong develop yung skill na yun sa isang bata. Okay? So nag-start ito parang out of curiosity, yung ganon, and then magkakamap siya, because mag-proliferate na yung ideas na yun, yun na yun. That's the start. Okay? Now, here is the challenge sa atin. Paano natin ngayon i-develop sa ating mga student at ang pagiging critical thinker nila? Okay? Now, yung situation natin, ang kasama ng bata, ang kapatid, they just stay at home, learning activity sheets sa kanila. So my dear teachers, kahit wala tayong face-to-face, blended ang learning natin, we have to look at the learning. That's why, kung anong gagawin nila dyan sa mga learning activity sheets na nandyan, na na-receive ng kanilang mga magulang. So, anong ginagawa natin? Ang ginagawa natin is gumagawa tayo ng tinatawag nating learning plan. So, from the word per se, we are planning for the lesson. Pinaplano natin ang lesson na ibibigay sa ating mga estudyante. Yung plan natin, kailangan mas madali na maintindihan at mag-gets ng mga bata kung ano ang gagawin nila. So, it's just like a guide and direction for our pre-plan. For our lesson. Paano tayong magplano sa ating mga lesson? Knowing that pandemic, let us not be contented na mga last lang ang nasa mga bata. Okay? So kailangan, as teachers, of course, napaka-resourceful natin, yung commitment natin, tapos yung passion natin sa pagtuturo. So, ginagawa natin yung mga dapat nating gawin as a teacher para matulungan natin kahit papaano ang mga anak, ang mga learners natin na nasa kanilang mga bahay. So, ginagawa natin ang pagpaplano sa lesson natin, we follow yung natawag nating 5 E's or 7 E's yung learning, yung model ng learning na meron tayong engage, explore natin, explain, elaborate, evaluate, and extend. So ito yung nagiging guide natin in planning our weekly home learning plan. Tama po ba? Gumagawa lahat ng teacher ng kanilang mga weekly home learning plan at ito ay nakikita sa kanilang mga learning plan. So kahit papaano, kahit hindi wala tayong face-to-face, more or less, the teacher is also directed, the teacher also knows, no, kung paano niya bibigyan ng guidance ang kanyang mga learners, no? Kahit hindi niya nakikita, meron tayong ginagawang plano para sa kanila. At pag nagplano tayo, let us always consider this model, the 80% ni teacher. Why? Kasi the teacher plans for it. Pinlano ni teacher yon. Okay? Ginamitan niya ng kanyang strategy, yung kanyang pambanat, yung kanyang method. Remember, bawat isa sa atin, meron tayong unique strategy na sa atin lang yan. Tatak natin yan. Di ba? Ako, may strategy ako, na ikaw may strategy ka, tayong lahat may strategy. But let us not always forget na yung gagamitin kong strategy might not be effective or applicable doon sa klase na hinahawakan mo. So dito papasok na kailangan si teacher, alam din niya kung ano ang needs, ano yung level ng kanyang mga learners bago siya babanat at gagamit ng strategy na sa kanyang pagtuturo. Siguro, kahit ikaw, hawak mo yung mga bata pero iba-ibang section ng hawak mo, iba-iba yung strategy na babanatan mo sa kanila according to their level, according to their needs. Kaya dito tayo nagkakaroon sometimes na when we ask, no, hindi natin ma-engage, so hindi ma-motivate. Perhaps yung level of understanding nila ay hindi akma doon sa na-prepare o in-apply mo sa isang section. And we do not do that. Okay? I know we do not do that. So meron tayong ibang klaseng pagbanat. Meron pang high level, meron pang middle, at meron dito. Basta we will go down to the level of our learners. After all, ang importante lang here is meron silang matutunan kahit papaano kapag nag-attend sila ng online nila. Or even they're asynchronous or offline. Meron matututunan ang mga learners natin because they are guided by the teacher. We guide them 24/7, sometimes ang guidance na binibigay natin sa kanila, right? Dear teachers. Okay. And then, ano yung mga strategies? I will just be sharing 2 strategies lang na alam ko, alam nyo na to kasi mga basic strategies lang yan, no? Na para ma-develop yung kanilang pagiging critical and creative thinking. Number 1 strategy at yung pinaka-topmost priority natin, yung questioning techniques natin. Questioning is an essential tool for developing critical thinking skills among our learners. So therefore, kailangan si teacher, lahat tayo, ma-art tayo, no? Meron tayong art of questioning. So pag nag-throw tayo ng questions sa ating mga students, kailangan once we ask questions to the students, kailangan mapapaisip si student, ano nga bang sasagot ko? It's something like that. Kapag nag-throw ka ng provoking question or thought-provoking question, then yung mental ng bata, yung kanyang mental capabilities and abilities, nagpo-process na siya ng isasagot niya, nagdidig na deeper yung kanyang background knowledge doon sa tanong mo. So ano yung pinaka-best na tanong sa kanya? And of course, gone are those days na magtatanong ka ng question answerable by yes or no. Tama? Dahil kapag nagtanong tayo ng ganon, before, pag nagtanong ka ng ganon na yes or no, para mas mabilis, do you understand the lesson? Did you understand the lesson? Something like that. Yes or no ang sagot, limited lang ang makukuha natin. Hindi natin mag-gauge kung meron nga bang learning o meron ba bang natutunan ng mga bata. And sometimes ako minsan, na nagre-reflect ako when I ask after discussing, no, magtatanong ako, did you understand the lesson, class? And then sasagot lang ng mga bata for them to be safe, no? Ang sasagot nila is, yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. But take note of this, my dear teachers. Now I realize, kapag sumasagot ang bata na yes, ma'am, you have always think dalawa. You have to think na dalawang bagay o no, bakit siya sumagot na yes. Yes, naintindihan ko. And yes, wala akong alam na itanong. So therefore, saan tayo? Of course, doon tayo sa number 1. Yes, ma'am, we do understand. Or yung yes, ma'am, yes, yes ka lang. No? Pero yun ang pinaka dito, yun ang pinaka medyo sabihin natin crucial or critical. If the students na wala siyang ma-formulate o conceptualize na question, magtatanong ka ngayon sa sarili mo, naiintindihan nga ba ako ng estudyante ko? Naiintindihan nga ba niya ang diniscuss ko? Meron bang learning meron ba siyang natutunan doon sa lesson na na-discuss sa kanya? So as much as possible, okay, number 1 is let us avoid, okay, use by yes or no. So dapat yung mga questions natin, it's open-ended. Just like yung bata, no, yung maliit na bata, ang dami niyang mga tanong. Pagkatapos pong sinagutan, may tatanong na naman na kasunod. Pagkatapos na naman, may tatanong na naman siya. So open-ended, unending question, no? Walang katapusan na pagtatanong. Doon lang nag-start yung learning doon. Kasi kapag nagtanong ang bata, sinagutan mo, may matututunan siya, and then may follow-up question na naman, may matutunan na naman ang mga bata. Doon lang umiikot ang learning. At pag nangyari yan, thanks God, yung bata, yung estudyante natin, merong natutunan sa atin. So yung art of questioning. So I will just share yung pagtatanong, yung questioning technique natin. No? Napakahalagang tool nito sa pagde-develop ng kanilang critical thinking skills. So when I was discussing yung isang topic doon sa amin, sa science, no? Yung earthquake, no? Tapos meron akong na-mention na method para ma-determine yung location, no? Locating the epicenter. The method is triangulation method. Triangulation method. Okay? I'm sure yung mga science teachers here nakaka-relate doon sa sinasabi ko at sinishare ko ngayon. So the word is triangulation method. Ito yung method na ginagamit, no, para ma-locate nila ang epicenter o yung sentro ng lindol. And then, ang tanong ko sa kanila is kung ano yung may alam na sila about triangulation method. Okay, so what is triangulation method? Ganon. So, ano yon? So, I didn't get a response. Wala akong nakuwang response. And then, inulit ko na naman ang tanong ko. So, ano yung naiintindihan nila about yung triangulation? Triangulation. Okay? So, pag sinabi natin try, what does it mean? Ayun. And then may nag-pop sa ko, no? Nag-pop diyan sa laptop, no? Ibig sabihin nagtatas ng kamay. Okay. And then ang sagot niya is, ma'am, yes, sabi ko sa kanya. Then ang sagot niya, ma'am, try means I'll try. I'll try to answer. Okay, you try. So, it means to say literally, yung try doon na T-R-Y, sisikapin ko. Ita-try ko. Okay? So, T-R-Y. O nga din. Then, ang gano'n ko, sabi ko, nga niya, may mali. Yung sa pagtanong, no, yung try. So, therefore, let us associate yung word na try sa mathematics. Okay, try. Trigonometry, triangle, something like that, right? And then, that's the only time that they were able to get it. Yung try. Yes, ma'am. Try, T-R-Y, means 3. So therefore, we have to be careful pala. No? When we ask questions, kailangan we lead our students to what we want them to learn and what they want to learn. That's the most important thing. Leading the students para sila matuto. Kasi yung questions mo, if you throw your questions, if you ask questions, and students understand what you are asking, then you will get a good response, right answers. So yung art of questioning is very important. Questioning is number 1 strategy para matulungan natin, matulungan ang mga students to develop their critical thinking skill. Okay? Yes. The test of a good teacher is not how many questions he can ask his students that they will answer rapidly. but how many questions he inspires them to ask him, which he finds it hard to answer. You know why? Kasi kapag may nagtanong ka and then you were able to ignite, you were able to arouse yung kanyang interest, and then may follow-up pa yan. After leaving your classroom, magsi-search pa rin yan para mas lalong lumawak at mag-expand ang kanyang knowledge about doon sa question that trigger na nagkapag-inspire doon sa kanyang interest. Okay? So, let us not forget na pag nag-ask tayo ng mga questions, lagi nating i-refer dito yung mga higher order skills natin. So we'll start from level 1, which is remembering. Kaya nga pag nag-engage ka o nag-elicit ka nagkakaroon tayo ng prior, no? Check, elicit, yung prior knowledge of the students dun sa kanilang mga previous lesson. So that's remembering and then understanding. So as you go on with your lesson, yung nagle-level up siya, yung mga questioning mo, yung art of questioning mo, yung mga skill mo na tinuturo sa mga estudyante mo from remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating until such time the students will be able to create something out of the idea and out of the lessons that you have taught to them. Okay? Another is yung inquiry-based learning. So strategy number 2. So this is not new to us. Inquiry-based learning is an excellent strategy to get students involved in the learning process. Ilang sabi nga natin, gone are those days that the teacher does most of the talking, most of the teaching. Now we just act as a facilitator of learning. We lead them first. Iikot doon yung discussion natin and then na-engage mo, na-motivate mo, yan. Na ano natin siya, na-develop natin yung pagiging yung pagiging malikay o matanungin nila. Okay? So inquiry-based learning is more than just asking what students want to learn. It's about activating interest and curiosity. So once you present your lesson to them, okay, and then kung meron kang strategy, kahit hindi mo pa yan tinuturo, once you have activated their curiosity and interest, under na po yan. Okay? So the first step in successful inquiry-based learning is to get our students na makapag-develop sila ng mga questions they want to answer to. Okay? So what I am doing sa klase, this is not new, okay? Pero para just to make sure na yung mga alam ko, natatrack ko if my students are learning, aside from the learning activity sheets na binibigay natin sa kanila, and we know for the fact na yun, we know no, na merong mga tawag dito ay mga key doon sa ano, pero paano natin talagang ma-evaluate o ma-assess na ang bata ay na-develop talaga sa kanya yung competencies expected of them to develop and master. So ang ginagawa, it's back to basic. Sabi nga natin kanina, yung methods and style, yung methods at saka yung style natin, strategy gagamitin natin under dun sa method, kailangan alam natin na aligned pa rin siya, effective pa rin siya now ngayong new normal natin, ngayong pandemic na to. Kasi yung ibang mga methods na ginagamit natin ay exclusively for classroom lang, and then yung mga strategies na to ay meron silang mga specific, may mga specific sometimes na strategies na specific for a particular skill lang, right? Minsan, akala mo na-develop na natin yung skill na yon, and then mali pala yung strategy na na-employ natin o nagamit natin. Okay, so what I'm doing is, I require my students, my learners to accomplish the KWL chart. Okay, bago mag-start ang lesson, I always ask them to accomplish the KWL chart, and this was explained to them noong orientation. Ito yung kailangan natin na ilalagay lang nila sa kanilang mga study notebook. They will write the topic, the date, of course their name, and then dun sa portion of what I know, they will just list down yung alam na nila about the topic na I'm going to present. So I am now eliciting or soliciting yung kanilang mga prior knowledge dun sa lesson na yun para alam ko kung ano na ba ang alam ng bata dito sa lesson ito. And then sa next column, what I want to know, I ask them to write something or questions that they want to learn They want to know about the lessons. Sila ang magsusulat. So dito pa lang, pag sinabi mo na, iisip ang bata, mag-iisip siya ng ano ba ang gusto kong matutunan sa lesson na to? Ano ba ang pwede kong itanong sa lesson na to? So kahit pa paano, umaandar pa rin yung kanilang critical thinking, yung thinking skill nila, umaandar kahit pa paano. Although kahit hindi natin sila nakikita, but I know kung palagi nilang ang ginagawa ito, regular na ginagawa ito, may vibe sa kanila yung paggawa ng KWL chart. And then doon sa last portion, ang pinapagawa ko is what I have learned after the lessons, yung week lesson, ililist nila dyan. What have you learned? Ano yung mga hashtag takeaway ninyo doon sa lesson after guiding, after discussing the lesson? Dyan siya. Yan ang ginagawa nila. Kaya yung mga students, okay, meron silang mga KWL chart na ginaya ko din na sabi ko, ilagay yan sa inyong mga study notebook. At sinasubmit nila ito at the end of every quarter. Doon natin check. And this one is graded. Ito yung nagsisilbi ako. This serves as my portfolio sa kanila. Dito ko, kahit kasi yung mga last na ginagawa nila, na isasubmit nila sa atin, naka-pad paper lang yan, this one, it's intact. At least after the end of the school year, the student is proud na meron siyang learnings, accumulation of learnings sa science aid kahit papaano. Okay, so ito yung mga evidences that they're doing yung ganyan. Okay, so ito yung work ng mga students ko na at the end of the quarter, dito tayo nagtatagay. Okay, although sagot natin, pinipili natin yung mga pinapasagot natin kasi we know yung pagsagot, yung way ng pagsagot nila, alam natin at alam niyo ang ibig kong sabihin. So ito yung KWL chart na ina-accomplish sa kanya galing yan. Alam ko naman kung sa kanya galing yan dahil tinitignan mo sa last, makikita ko ba yan, at least na napo-formulate yung bata, nakakagawa siya ng kanyang statement o yung lalagay niya. Like for example, yung W here, how tropical cyclones form, like that. Ano yung importance ng PAR, how many points ang surrounded ng Philippine airports, and so on and so forth. So this is just sharing po. Yan. So ito yung chine-check ni teacher ngayon. Okay? So ito yung accumulation of learnings ng mga students ng grade 8. Okay? Another is, of course, ayan po ang kanilang mga study notebook. Intact po yan. Sinasubmit nila at the end of the quarter. And then, ang binibigyan din natin ng way is the reflection. But sometimes, even yung reflection, hindi natin alam kung ano ang nagiging dahilan why yung reflection nila, it's lifted from the less or hindi sila makagawa ng reflection nila. Of course, there are other factors, and whatever the reason behind, we teachers understand that, and we try to understand their situation. Okay? Diba? And then, of course, ayan, ang kailang creative, yung kailang skill, no, sa paggagawa, yung creative skill nila, yung magiging creativity nila. Ayan. So, nung pinagawa, ito yung mga output ng second quarter. Okay, so when we ask them to make a fault model, guidance, you just discuss to them na ganyan siya, and then nakagawa sila na list to your expectation, nang akala mo kukopyahin lang ang nasa last, but nakakapag-produce sila ng isang output na hindi mo akalain na magagawa nila yon. So skill yon. Just like itong ginawa ni Tyron, no? Wow, now take a look at that. Ito yung earthquake warrior na kung tawagin natin. Okay? And then at outputs, now take a look at yung variation ng kanilang mga outputs. Nagbigay ka, you produce a telephone like that, and then may variation. So ito yung natawag nating uniqueness sa ating mga estudyante, individual differences. Dito lumalabas yung pagiging creative ng mga bata, yung creativity ng skill. Okay? Gumamit siya ng lata, it's accepted. This one, nilagyan niya ng mukha, and then mas lalong gumanda. And we appreciate yung work ng ating mga students. Okay? And then, so pag sinabi natin sum up lang po, defining critical and creative thinking. So creative thinking is the thinking we do when we generate ideas, while Critical thinking is the thinking we do when we judge ideas. And I'd like to share this one.
Tara na't makinig kay Sir Martin. Nakarating ka na ba sa Japan? Napuntahan mo na ba ang Korea? Nakapamasyal ka na ba sa China? Aba, kung ako ang tatanungin ay hindi pa rin. Ngunit, masasabi ko sa inyo na naranasan ko na ang mga bansang ito. Papaano? Sa pamamagitan ng kanilang mga akdang pampanitikan. Noong nakaraan, pinag-usapan natin ang mga pinagmulang bansa ng mga akdang tinalakay natin. Ngayong markahan naman na ito ay muli tayong maglalakbay sa Asya. Tara, Samahan ninyo ko kasama ang mga guro sa Pilipino na sina Sir Anthony Manalastas, Ma'am Elizabeth Ocampo, Ma'am Maria Cristina Benevice, Ma'am Mary Anel Capati, at syempre ang inyong lingkod, si Sir Ronaldo Martin. Tara na! Natin ang iba pang uri ng akdang pampanitikan at ang mga bansang pinagmulan ng mga ito. Narito ang mga akda na ating tatalakayin sa markahang ito. Una ay ang talinghaga tungkol sa may-ari ng ubasan, isang halimbawa ng parabola na nanggaling sa kanlurang Asya. Pangalawa ay ang elehiya sa kamatayan ni Kuya na galing naman sa Bhutan. Ang pangatlo ay ang maikling kwento na pinamagatang Sino ang Nagkaloob. Ang susunod ay isa pang halimbawa ng maikling kwento na pinamagatang Ang Kasulatan ng Banyaga. Susunod ay ang kilalang alamat ni Prinsesa Manora na galing naman ng Thailand. At ang huli ay ang epiko na nanggaling sa India na pinamagatang Rama at Sita. Bigla akong pag-usapan ng mga akda. Ihanda ang sarili para sa isang makabuluhang ikatlong markahan. Magkita-kita tayong muli. Paalam!
Okay. Yan.
Tara na!
All right. So therefore, on that note, be the change to wish to see in the world. Okay. So thank you so much, my dear fellow educators.
All right, so thank you so much, ma'am. Now we shall now have our second and last speaker for our in-service training. He will deliver to us the effective strategies in the positive use of ICT to facilitate teaching and learning process. Let us all welcome Mr. Diezer Nerwin A. Dimaano, Teacher 3, Math Department.
Okay, magandang buhay po mga kapwa-guro sa Fgnmhs. Dinig po ba ako? Okay, good po. Dilayang na nga. Magli mo. Wait lang po. Okay, wait lang. Okay, allow me to share my screen. Agli mo.
Stop sharing na. Sige, share mo pa si Bali. Kasi ta share sa. Kasi ta na PowerPoint.
Okay, I think I am now sharing my screen. Okay, magandang Diezer Nerwin Dimaano, a grade 9 mathematics teacher. And I am very glad to be given a chance to talk with you and to share something with you on the last day of our blended in-service training. Okay, wala lang patumpik-tumpik pa. Simulan na po natin. One of the reasons why we conduct or why the DepEd conducts this self-assessment tool na binibigay sa atin every school year ay para malaman kung ano yung mga priorities na kailangan nating ma-develop. Ngayon, last Wednesday, through our very own Sir Karagdag, no, na-present niya yung mga priority na kailangan nating ma-develop. And it showed na sa ating mga proficient teachers, yung item na 1.2, yung objective 1.2, yung ensure the positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process na nasa PPST indicator 1.3.2 ay naging rank 9. Alam naman natin na dito, kapag rank 9 or mas mataas yung rank, mas kailangan nating i-prioritize sa ating mga in-service training tulad nito. And sa mga highly proficient teachers naman, lumabas na itong isa naman yung na-discuss kanina ni Ma'am Sherilyne Reyes. Yung develop critical and creative thinking as well as other higher order thinking skills. Okay? Kaya this morning, I am tasked to share something, strategies in the positive use of ICT and learning process. First of all, we need to define or recall what an ICT is. Basta lang ba siya information and communication technology? Of course not. And ICT by far is the most popular notion of modern education. No, naging na siyang modern education, especially nowadays na nasa new normal tayo, where everything is done online. No, kung iba naman ay blended, no, touch of technology still. And ito yung mga impacts ng ICT. ICT can develop the critical and creative thinking skills of students. So discuss kanina to ni Ma'am Sherilyne Reyes, Ma'am Sherilyne Reyes na pwede rin siyang gawin or maging factor para ma-develop yung one way of developing the critical and creative thinking skills of our students. No? Last time or sa mga nagdaang araw, may mga napansin akong post sa Facebook. Alam ko, yung iba sa inyo nakita rin to. No? Ayan, isang post. Kaya pala sobrang init. No, tapos inedit niya yung picture ng nasa solar system, yung Earth, tapos yung sun, yung bahay namin. No, kaya pala sobrang init daw. And then another picture ay this one. Ayan, breaking news. As of now, 1,837 new confirmed cases. No? Look how creative our young generations, no? Pero imagine kung i-translate natin yung creativity na lang ito into something na mapapakinabangan ng lahat, na pwede natin may pagmalaki din, tulad ng mga sumikat din na or mga nag-trending na Filipino people, no? Tulad ng mga nakaraan lang, itong batang to, no? She is one with nature, no? Look how creative she is doing this one. Another ay ito, no? Mga recycled material, mga flip-flops, mga chinelas, mga used slippers, no, na ginagamit niya para makabuo ng mga miniature, no? Another ay itong isa, no? Creative they are. And also, ito rin, bagong-bago to, TikTok din to yata eh. Okay, yes, from TikTok. Let me play this one.
Mga Pilipinong kabataan na pag-asa ng bayan.
Dinig po ba yung sa audio niya sa YouTube?
Paano ninyo nasisikmurang pag-usapan ng negosyo kung mga alipin tayo sa sarili nating bayan?
Ayun, if you want to watch. Good. Nawala. Nangyari. Ayan, kung gusto niyo pong panoorin yung full video, available naman yun sa YouTube. No? So imagine kung paano natin pwedeng translate or magamit yung ICT para ma-develop din yung critical and creative thinking skills ng ating mga estudyante. Okay, next, ito ay, siyempre, ang pinaka-popular, no? The best president we never had. Siya yung tinuturing ko na pinaka-critical thinking, pinaka-critical thinker sa atin. So we have here Ma'am Miriam Defensor Santiago. Next, aside from the fact that it can develop the critical and creative thinking skills, it can also enhance students' motivation and engagement. Take note of that. No, sabi nga kanina ni Ma'am She, kapag ang students ay motivated at engaged sa ating lesson, for sure, merong learning na mangyayari sa ating lesson. Next, it can foster the development of the 21st century skills, no, yung mga magiging learner-centered ang ating mga estudyante lalo. And also it can improve students' attainment level, yung kanilang achievement level. Next, according to UNESCO, ICT includes digital technology such as computer, internet, which are potential power tools for educational change and reform. No, ito ay aligned sa sinabi rin ni Nelson Mandela na the most powerful weapon that we can use to transform the world is education. Next, in research, we know it's a killer when we say in research. No, in research, 40 to 80% of people who use laptops during their lesson are also using according to research, 40 to 80% of people who are busy with their laptops in their lesson are also busy doing other things aside from your lesson. No, imagine that kung meron kang 10 estudyante, no, 4 hanggang 8 sa kanila busy din sa ibang bagay. Let's say pwede sila mag-ML and doing other things. So ang challenge ngayon ay paano natin ma-retain yung engagement ng ating mga estudyante. And one of the best ways ay we need to incorporate strategies that are effective in the positive use of ICT. When we say positive use of ICT, we have to maintain the engagement of our learners sa ating lesson. Okay? Ito yung I can share na 5 technologies that we can use to create awesome presentations. Siyempre, kilala natin yan, yung PowerPoint presentation, no? Ang Powtoon, ito yung sikat ngayon na if you want to make a cartoon based or ICT based instruction, pwedeng gamitin ng Powtoon. And ito yun yung Prezi na parang siyang virtual na campus na may mga gumagalaw talaga, na creative yung pagkaka-present. And then ito rin yung bago, yung Canvas, mga free yan na mga templates na mga photos. Now, if you want to edit something, you can take something from Canva. And ito rin yung pinakahuli, yung Pixton, no? Cartoon character naman ng mga to. Parang katulad lang siya ng Powtoon. Next. Gamitin natin yung interaction natin. I want you to go to slido.com, no? Go to your browser. Tapos i-type po natin yung code na 747770. Ayan, tapos sagutan po natin yung nandyan, yung question dyan. Siguro mga 1 minute, pwede na. Again, the code is 747770. 6 digits po yan. Wait lang, nag-load pa siya. Okay, I am using Slido na para makabuo tayo ng cloud of responses. Medyo mabagal lang siya. Ayan, ito naman yung mga we already have 14 responses, no? Mga popular dito ay PowerPoint presentation. I could see Canva, no? Ayan, ito yung cloud na sinasabi natin that you can use, no? Pwedeng gamitin yan, Slido. Ayan, so we have here the most popular one. Pwede na siguro yan, 15 responses, PowerPoint, no? Now, since ang PowerPoint, Ayan, since ang PowerPoint ang pinaka-popular na sagot natin na ginagamit nating platform to deliver our lesson, mag-focus tayo dyan. I have prepared 15 strategies that you can use. Now, yung iba dito, napaka-basic lang nila, pero sometimes it's very good to go back to basics, no? Kasi to be honest, it's not 2 hours is not enough para magkaroon ng isang discussion on the positive use of ICT. So ngayong araw na to, pag-usapan lang natin yung mga pinaka parang basic pa lang itong mga to, na parang first leg pa lang siya. So, first one, kung kung laptop po ang gamit ninyo, you can do it on your own, no? Sundan po ninyo ito or pwede niyo magamit para ma-try ninyo. First, sa PowerPoint presentation, use key points, no? Hindi po tama or iwasan na po natin na gumamit ng PowerPoint presentation tapos kokopihin lang kung ano yung nasa book, no? Use points, not sentences and paragraphs. Wait lang, nawala po yung aking no, slide should be a summary of important points or key ideas. Presentation is not an essay. Kaya avoid na po natin itong mga to na parang lahat na lang inilagay niya tapos ang gagawin lang ng isa ay babasahin lang yan tapos na. That's a big no-no. Wag na po natin gagawin yon. Tapos na tayo doon. So ang pwedeng gawin natin diyan ay mga key points na lang ilagay natin. So isa itong malaking kamalian. So ang pwede natin gawin ay mga key ideas na lang tulad po nito. No? Ito ay applicable lalo na itong mismong content na to ay applicable sa ating klase. Now when you read your slides, this is what the client sees or our students see. Back of your head, body posture, and etc. Another, we need to maximize text, background, contrast. Ayan. Ito pong first bullet versus the second bullet. Ito yung pagkakaiba po nila. Sharp contrast, dark background, tapos light lang po yung ating text. Pwede rin the other way around. Pwedeng ang dark ay yung ating text, tapos yung background ang light color. Now, they are easy to read. Tapos ito naman, laking po ng difference, di po ba? Kapag dark ang background tapos dark din yung text, napakahirap siyang basahin. Next. Use relevant images or visuals. Nakita niyo po 'yan? Picture pa lang pero nagsalita na siya, no? Wag na po nating i-overdo na maglagay ng napakaraming pictures, pati mga animated pictures na hindi naman related doon sa mismong theme ng inyong slide, ng inyong presentation. So one picture is good enough. Another, use large font size. Kung napansin niyo po, kanina pa ako gumagamit ng mga napakalaking font size, no, para striking po sila, makita ka agad. Madaling basahin din. So at least 36 po yung point ng ginagamit natin. So kung 16 ang gagamitin, ganito siya kaliit, 18, 20, 24, and so on. So sabi nga nila, size really matters. Ako, ginagamit ko po ay usually at least 36 talaga. 36, 40, and above. Madalang akong gumamit ng napakaliit na font style or font size rather. Next, about font style naman. Kanina po font size, ngayon font style. Gamitin po natin yung mga sans serif family of fonts dahil madali silang basahin or mabasa ng mga estudyante. Ito po yung mga example ng sans serif na pwede natin ma-download from the internet. We have Tira Sans, Amaranth, Bibas, and Abel. Ito po ay Bibas, itong ginagamit ko sa taas. Pati yung number dyan. Tapos, pwede rin pong gamitin yung Century Gothic. Ito pong avoid using na text. Century Gothic po yung ginamit ko dyan. wag na po natin gagamitin yung mga curls empty, yung papyrus, Bradley hand, ITC. Kasi po yung mga curly na yan, yung mga mga fancy yung kanilang mga dulo ay nakakabawas doon sa speed ng pagbasa ng ating mga estudyante. Wait lang. Kung gusto niyo po mag-download ng mga fonts, you can do it. Napunta lang po tayo ng ang hirap pala mag-shift ng Windows dito sa Zoom. First time ko pong gumamit ng Zoom. So punta po tayo ng the font. Ito po yun. thefont.com. Tapos hanapin po natin dito sa mga options na yan yung sans serif. Pero basic lang po yun. Kaya ito pa siya. Nandito po siya kaagad. Ito. Click lang po natin yan. Tapos lalabas na po lahat ng font style na related sa sans serif. So ito po yung mga yan. Ito. Nandito po si Bibas. No? So yan po yung gamitin natin as much as possible. The-download nyo lang po iyan. Tapos pagka-click sa download, punta na po kayo ng ayan, may lalabas po na ganyan, WinRAR, no, yung mga WinZip. Tapos, pili lang po kayo kahit alin dyan, pwede naman. Click nyo lang yan, tapos extract to. Dalhin nyo lang po sa desktop. Again, punta po ng, may lalabas po na ganito, automatic po yun. Tapos double click nyo lang yan. Click nyo lang yan, tapos extract to. Tapos pili po kayo kung saan nyo gustong dalhin. As much as possible kung saan siya pwedeng madaling makita sa desktop. Tapos click OK. And then, pagka-click po ng OK, lalabas na siya sa desktop. And then dalhin nyo lang po siya dun sa font. Nakikita ba yung screen ko? Yung sanay sa Zoom. Kasi sa Google Meet, pwede mong i-share ang entire screen mo, di ba? Dito yata parang mahirap siya. Wait, let me try. Ayan, pagkadala po ng file sa desktop, pwede niyo po siyang dalhin sa font folder ng inyong laptop or desktop. Now, going back sa ating presentation, medyo late siya sa YouTube talaga. Hindi ako makafollow. Ayan, going back sa ating presentation. Ayan po, avoid na po natin itong mga to. Next is use graphic pen. Yung po mga pen tablet na sumisikat talaga ngayon. Paano ba to? Wait lang po ha. Naninibago pa ako sa ating Zoom. Ayan, graphic pen. Kung kita nyo po sa... Ang hirap talaga siya. So yung graphic pen po, parang bang kita ba yan? Masyadong maliit. Ayan, basta may graphic pen po tayo nilatawag na sikat po ngayon. No? I hope mabigyan tayong lahat ng sponsor po natin. kung magkakaroon naman. Pero alam ko, parang may plano po yata yung ating mga heads na i-include siya sa ating budget. Sana po mabigyan ng ayan. So meron na po akong graphic pen dito. So try po natin siya. Ano ba to? Ayan. So for example, this one, skeletal system tayo. Ang kagandahan po kasi ng pen tablet, parang meron kang ball pen. Tapos itong screen mo ay isang paper lang, no? So try po natin siya. I-zoom in ko lang po ng konti. Paano po 'yun? I-hold nyo lang po yung control ng inyong laptop, ng keyboard, tapos yung plus sign, pagsabayin nyo po. Kaya control tapos yung plus sign, lalaki na po yan. Tapos pwede nyo siyang i-drag para makapag-focus po kayo dun sa inyong figure na gustong bigyan ng focus. So for example, ito, using my pen tablet, pwede po akong, wait lang. Sensya, hindi po talaga ako sanay sa Zoom. Sorry po. Hari dyan. Ito yung mahirap sa virtual eh. Okay. Ayan, gamit po yung pen tablet. Ayan talaga siya. No, pwede nyo i-highlight yung mga gusto nyo i-highlight. Ayan. Tapos pwede nyo i-rename. Ano kasi ito? Tawag dyan ay clavicle. Pagkakalang ko. Wait lang po kayo. Talagang gumana nung aking pen tablet dito. Ayaw sa Zoom. So clavicle. And then, ay. So that's the use of, ayaw talaga eh. Anyway. Mas maganda po ito sa face-to-face na ipakita sa inyo. O kaya dapat nag-Google Meet. Anyway. So let's say na fill up na po natin lahat yan, na bigyan natin ng label. Tapos pwede nang ibigay sa students yan. No? Sila naman ang magtatrabaho in labeling the parts. No? Alam ko hindi po yata lesson to ng high school, pang grade 4 yata to, if not mistaken. Next, dito po tayo sa mga basics ng PowerPoint presentation. This time, pupunta na po tayo sa mga... Okay. You can run a virtual field trip. Virtual na po nangyayari ngayon. No? So tayo na po natin itong mga to. Pwede ng 360-degree cities. No, punta po tayo dyan. Magpapalit na naman ako ng screen. Ayan. Type lang po natin 360. Nako. cities.net. Ayan. And then, direct na po kayo dun sa mismong site niya. Pagkapunta niyo po dito, pwede na po kayo mag-search ng kahit na anong lugar na pwede nyo puntahan, na gusto nyo puntahan, na ipakita sa mga estudyante ninyo. Now, let's say you want to go to Luneta Park or Rizal Park. Try po natin Rizal Park. Ayan. So, nasa Rizal Park na tayo. Pili kayo ng picture dyan na pwede nyong or napupusuan po ninyo. So, let's say itong unang picture. Ayan. Para siyang virtual talaga. Parang nandun na rin kayo. Double click ko lang. Ayan. So, kagandahan nito, i-maximize po natin itong parang icon dito na full screen sa upper right corner. Ito po. Full screen. Ayan. Nasa Luneta Park na tayo or Rizal Park. Ang kagandahan nito, you can view 360 degrees. Na parang nandun na rin tayo. Ay, yung Philippine flag. Tapos may mga arrows dito na kulay white. Ito. Pag click nyo to, mag-move forward kayo. Kung saan niya kayo gustong dalhin. Or kung saan nakalagay, kung ano yung address, arrowhead na yan. So let's say, may lalabas po dapat dito pero parang medyo mahina yung, ayan, babalik tayo dun sa ating pinanggalingan. No? Kaya may tao na bigla. No? Parang hindi po ito real time, no? Kasi mga walang hindi siya real time, mga recorded na mga 360 views. Okay? So that is 360 degrees cities.net. Balik tayo ng ating presentation. Ulitin ko po, 360 cities.net po 'yon. Kung mapapansin po ninyo, naka-underline yung ating 360 degrees dito, yung title po ng page. Tapos kapag nag-hover ako ng mouse dyan, may nakalagay na agad na website. Ibig sabihin, naka-hyperlink na po siya. Hindi ko na kailangan pang magbukas ng another window. No? Automatic po na dadalhin ako ng presentation. So try po natin click to. Kaso naka-zoom pala tayo, kaya hindi siya pwede. Dapat Google Meet. Entire screen po dapat ang share natin dito. Anyway, nag-prepare naman po ako dito ng alternative kung sakali mang mag-lock ko. No, let's say ito po. Ito yung kanina, yung Rizal Park. Ito naman ay... Ayan, panoorin, try po natin. Ayan, yung Rizal Park kanina yan. Tapos yung pangalawa, try naman natin ang San Juanico.
Solutions or systems? It shows RMS, right? We are not the company that collects for elephant insurance.
So, welcome late eh. Ayan, parang talagang nandun na rin tayo. Pero ang disadvantage niya, hindi gumagalaw. No? Parang tripod lang siya na nandun sa isang lugar, pero you can view 360 degrees. So ngayon, ang alternative dyan na pwedeng gawin natin ay ibang website. No? Bukod sa 300, pwede natin gamitin ang Google. Type po natin instantstreetview.com sa ating browser. Try po natin. Pero mag-shift ako ng screen dito ulit. Wait lang po. Okay. Type ko lang po instant street view.com. Ba't nawala siya? Nawala siya. Ayun. instantstreetview.com. Yun lang po yung type natin. Late pala siya sa YouTube kaya hindi ko talaga makita. Ayan po. So type po natin. Let's say, balikan po natin yung EDSA. Punta tayo ng EDSA. Let's say, ano bang road yung maganda doon? Yung TAF. Ayan, parang nandoon na rin tayo, di ba? So, ang advantage niya versus doon sa 360 degrees ay ito ay pwede tayong mag-move forward, backward, left, or side, right. Try po natin. Let's say, punta tayo ng kabilang side. So, may virtual field trip po tayo. Let's say, move forward po natin. Ayan, parang lalakad ka rin doon. Pero dapat tumabi tayo eh. Anyway. Okay. Tapos, tayo natin. Ang maganda pa dito, pwede nyo makita yung mga katabi niyang establishment. Let's say, gusto mong pumunta ng Empire Center from here, pwede ka nang pumunta agad doon. Click mo lang po yun. Ayan na siya. Move forward. Now, kung gusto niyo po mag-conduct ng virtual tour sa inyong mga estudyante, maganda po itong instant street view. And try po kayo natin sa loob ng mismong building. Let's say White House. Pero dapat piliin niyo po yung tamang address niya, Pennsylvania, sa loob mismo ng White House. Pero hindi po siya real time, no? Baka hanapin po natin yung mga tao diyan like Joe Biden. You can move around. Tapos another level sa ground floor po yata ito nila. So ganyan pala ang itsura ng mismong White House. Imagine nakapunta tayo din, no? Pero virtually. Okay. Next. Balik po tayo ng presentation. Ito pala yung disadvantage ng Zoom. No? Naka-prepare din po dito sa baba yung instant street view in case na may magloko talaga na hindi kaya. Na pwede nyo pong gawin yon sa inyong respective classes. Next, isa pa po na magandang pwedeng gawin or gamitin sa virtual field trip. Naka-share na ba yun? Ay itong YouTube 360 degrees. Mag-shoot po ako ulit ng screen. Punta ako ng YouTube. Wait lang po. Ayan, ito na po yung aking browser. Type ko lang ay YouTube. O kaya, my colleagues, pwede nyo pong gawin ay mag-open kayo ng bagong tab. No, kung napansin nyo, meron ako sa ilalim ng mga tab, ng mga tabs ba dyan. No, click ko lang po iyan, nandun na po ko kaagad ng mga shortcuts. Mga bookmark po ang tawag dyan. So ngayon, ito, ginagamit po yan sa klase. Wheel of Names, naka-bookmark po siya. Paano gawin ng bookmark? Let's say, gusto mong i-bookmark ang street view. Kasi ito, gusto mong i-bookmark, hindi mo na kailangan i-type pa next time. So ang gawin nyo lang po ay punta kayo sa right side, upper right side, tapos click nyo itong parang star. Ewan ko po kung star din po yung sa mga gadgets po natin. Bookmark this tab, tapos add, and then done. Pag nagbukas po kayo ng bagong tab, makikita nyo na po yon sa ilalim mismo. Pero kung marami na po yung mga naka-bookmark extension dito, na makikita niyo po lahat yan. Okay, ayan po, hindi po naka-type yung Street View, pero pag tinlik ko ang aking bookmarks, meron na akong instant Street View kasi po naka-bookmark na siya. Again, how to do that? Kunwari may nagustuhan kang website na maganda, let's say Pinoy Critical Thinking, itong mga advocates. Let's say gusto mong madaling hanapin yan next time, pwede siyang i-bookmark doon. Okay? So, click nyo po yung star and then add bookmark and then done. Ganun lang po siya kadali. Yung mga useful na website. Okay, going back 360 degrees YouTube. Did you know na meron pong 360 degrees ang YouTube? Let's say 360 degrees ng volcano. Mag-science naman tayo. Ayan. Kung gusto nyo makita yung eruption ng mga volcano,
Help
mga
keep your kids
disadvantage
strong
ito
with
po.
the strength builders of Cheese Whiz. Prove taste.
Okay. So ito ay, kung pwede po piliin po natin ay yung mga from National Geographic dahil napakaganda po ng mga videos nila. Bawasan ko lang yung volume. Move forward ko lang po para makita nyo na yung pinakamagandang part nito. Ayan. Move forward. So na yung vulkan. Ayan po, live makikita po natin mismo. No, may experience natin. Virtually. Nga lang. So ganyan pala yung itsura niya. No, I hope by this time may naisip na po kayong topic or activity sa inyong respective classes where you can apply or use this virtual tour websites. No? Exit na po natin. Pwede nyo pong i-try yan sa mga cellphones. Basta i-type nyo lang po yung first, bigyan nyo po siya ng clue. Let's say 360 o kaya naman virtual. Bibigyan po kayo kaagad. Okay? Pili lang po kayo kung ano gusto nyo. Ang maganda pa rito, pwede siyang gawin na simulator. Let's say 360 degrees ng plant cell. Eto. So parang nasa loob tayo mismo ng cell. Try natin. Maximize po natin yung screen.
Plants are amazing. They create energy with sunlight and they use this energy to make what we use for our food,
So ganun din, pwede siyang galawin.
and fiber. And this
Tapos
takes
kagandahan
us
pa,
on a
may
journey
lecture siya kaagad.
deep into the inner world of a plant cell. All of a cell's organelles float around in the cytosol, in a jelly-like substance.
Ang maganda sa YouTube, pwede niyo pong i-activate yung subtitle doon para mas maintindihan ng mga students
Take a moment to look
yung
around.
sinasabi ng speaker.
A plant cell contains many organelles and structures, each of them responsible for a different job within the cell.
No, pwede niyo pong i-try yan. Search niyo po sa YouTube.
Plant
360 degrees talaga siya.
sunlight and use it to
can
convert
move along.
water and carbon dioxide into sugar. This process is called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis happens inside the many green chloroplasts found around a plant cell.
Okay?
In the mitochondria,
So, stop ko na po
sugar
ito.
that was created by chloroplasts is
Balik ako station. Ayan, paki-screenshot na lang po siguro para may copy kayo kaagad ng mga virtual field trip na to, mga websites. No, try niyo po sila. Okay, now para ma-facilitate naman natin yung chat box natin, yung live chat natin, can you think of a topic or a lesson where you can utilize these websites? Topic lang o kaya activity? No, mga gusto nyo puntahan or ipakita, let's say, paki-comment lang po natin. Ano kaya mga naiisip ng mga teachers po natin? So, ayun. Nawala siya. Ayan, alam ko po medyo mahirap po mag-isip talaga on the spot ng mga lesson where you can integrate this websites, di po ba? Okay. Sige po, i-reserve na lang po natin yung mga yan. Yung mga naiisip natin. Let's proceed. Okay. Item 8. Ano ba to? Another strategy that we can use to promote the positive use of ICT. This one. You can record your lecture. Wait lang po, may nahanap ako. Okay, it's very important for us to record our lecture. If you will be doing live stream, kaya live po kayo nag-discuss, there's a tendency na may masabi tayong mali at madinig din ng estudyante, mahirap na siyang bawiin. Ngayon, kapag nag-record tayo ng video or ng lecture natin, parang video lesson po siya, no, pwede nyo nang makita, ma-review ka agad yung video ninyo kung tama yung mga information na binabanggit po natin. Okay, sabi nga natin, video is more engaging to the senses. So it can convey more information by showing and telling at the same time. No, it helps to minimize errors because you can review it. Another, students can watch at their convenience. Kasi nga po, di po ba, aminin man natin o hindi, talagang maraming estudyante ang hindi nakakapag-online o nakakapag-synchronous class ng sabay-sabay, online sila. Hindi po tulad dati na everyday na i-meet natin yung mga estudyante. Ngayon, once a week lang. Pero imagine kung na-record mo yung video, yung lecture natin, tapos sinend sa kanila at dindownload at their own most convenient time, makikita na po nila yung lecture natin. Okay? And actually, ito po yung pinaka-paboritong ginagawa ko sa klase ko. No, ito yung tinatawag po nating flip classroom, no, yung flip instruction. Binabaliktad po natin. Ako po ang ginagawa ko, during their asynchronous class, pinapanood po nila lahat ng videos na na-record ko. And during our synchronous class, dun ko po minamaximize yung learning nila by conducting Q&A. No, parang recitation part po siya. So flip classroom or flip instruction po ang tawag doon. Example po ng video na na-upload na sa YouTube, no? Play ko lang po ito. So ito po yung itsura ng aking YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Ayan. Ayan. Actually, from October, nakagawa na po ako ng mahigit 30 videos. No, tuloy-tuloy po iyon. And I am proud to say na effective po talaga siya. Bakit? Nag-conduct po ako ng evaluation wherein ginamit ko po yung Google Forms, no? Mga anonymous po yung mga estudyante ko doon. Hindi nila binalagay yung totoong pangalan po nila. Tapos sasabihin po nila what they can say about my teaching style na ginagamit sa kanila. Kung ano pa yung mga magiging comment nila. Lahat po sila, almost lahat po sila, puro positive po yung mga binanggit nila. Hindi man sa pagmamayabang, pero it's one way of encouraging you to consider using flip instruction. Okay? Babalik rin po natin. Yung asynchronous, yung po yung time nila para makapag-aral ng lesson. Tapos yung synchronous naman, parang gawin yung mga activities. Makikita niyo po sila live. And you can also add enrichment activities para po mas lalong ma-strengthen yung learning nila. May mga nag-comment pa nga po doon, sabi nila, parang nakakatakot pong mag-join sa synchronous class po ninyo dahil merong will of names na kung saan kapag po natawag ako, nakakakaba. Pero as the weeks pass by, nasasanay na po ako at marami po ako natututunan. Okay? Again, teachers, consider using flipped classroom. Mag-record po ng video, tapos ipapanood sa mga students during their asynchronous class. Imagine meron silang 6 days para mapanood yung video. Tapos yung 1 day para may strengthen yung learning. Okay? Next. Ano ba nangyari dyan? Dinala ako sa YouTube.
Is converted into energy packets called
Okay, let's go back to our presentation. Nawala na naman siya. Share. Pasensya po. First time ko po lang gumamit. First time ko pong gumamit ng Zoom talaga. No? It's really a big challenge for me. No? Saan tayo? Ang mahirap pa dito, naka-YouTube po tayo pala, hindi siya live na nakikita. Kung nalilate siya, hindi ko nakikita. Hi po. Hi. Saan yung screen ko? Wait lang po ha. Oh my God. May wala na eh. Wait. Ayun, welcome back to my channel. Ay, saan po? Mahirap talaga siya. Ayan, next po, item 9 tayo. Ayan, item 9. Ano? Ayan. Ito pinaka-importante. Set objectives. Okay. Make sure that students are also aware of our objectives that we have set for them to meet at the end of our lesson. Kasi pag ginawa po natin yon, guided din yung mga students what they are expected to learn, no, and acquire at the end of the lesson. No? Okay, make sure to state objectives on the first part so students will be able to know what to expect. And sabi nga dito ni Seneca, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Okay, when students know where they are headed, they can easily get there. Same is true sa mga teachers, sa ating mga teachers. Make sure that we focus on achieving these objectives. Our discussion, syempre, yung activities, assessment, and evaluation dun sa ating objectives. Keep videos short. Pinakamahaba na po dapat ang 20 minutes. Bakit? Kapag po sinend natin sa mga bata yan, mahirap or napakatagal bago nila ma-download ng buo yon. Kung masyadong mahaba yung video. Pero kung let's say 10 minutes lang yan, 15 minutes, madali lang mada-download nila. Alam naman natin mahirap yung internet connection ngayon. Pero dito, ikaw lang pag-asa namin. Sana dumating ka na. Okay, at most 20 minutes lang po yung video, yung haba ng video natin. Tapos, tandaan natin, kapag masyadong mahaba yung kailangan natin i-discuss, lalo na sa math, in science, sa ibang subject area, pwede po natin i-cut yung video. Kasi, pwede namang wag nang i-cut kung confident naman kayo na yung habang yon ay mako-contain nyo or ma-maintain nyo yung engagement, yung motivation ng student na tapusin yung video. So, dapat video. No? Tignan po natin sino ba? Si Alex Gonzaga. Dahil kahit na napakahaba ng mga videos nila, tinatapos pa rin ng mga subscribers niya, yung mga viewers po niya. Kasi nga po, na-maintain niya yung motivation ng mga watcher o mga manonood niya na tapusin yung video. Pero but then again, if you have more to say, i-cut niyo po yung videos into 2 or more. Share ko na rin na mabilisan paano ba gumawa or gumawa ng video gamit ang PowerPoint. Mabilisan lang po ito. Wait lang po. Wait lang po . Stop share ko muna. Wait lang po. Hanap ako ng PowerPoint ko na readily made na ginawa ko na before, let's say, pang quarter 2. Madali dito. Ayan po, tingnan po natin. 5 slides or 6 na slides lang po yan. Pero nakagawa po ako ng video. Paano ba gumawa ng video? Gamit ang PowerPoint lang. Let's say, ayan na po yung PowerPoint presentation yun. Maganda po pala, yung version ng PowerPoint nyo ay Microsoft 365 na. Meron po tayong account noon. Wait lang po, share ko lang po pala. Akala ko naka-enter. Ito po. Ayan. Meron po ako ditong PowerPoint presentation na 2 na lang ang slides. Yung una, yung aking header na kung saan nakalagay yung aking introduction o yung objective ng video, tapos yung content na. So dito, 2 lang po yung ready ko. No, kanina, po na naka-Microsoft 365 tayo dahil napakarami niyang features na napakaganda. Ngayon, paano ba mag-record ng video? Paano ba gawing video ito? Punta po kayo ng slideshow tab. Ito pong sa upper screen. Slideshow, home, insert, design, tapos slideshow. Kung record slideshow, bibigyan ka ng the current slide, kung anong slide ka naroon, or kung po yung mga dati pang version, yung mga lumang version from the beginning siya, kung hindi ako nagkakamali. The current slide tayo. So current slide, no, yung first slide po natin. O, dinurot. Ayan, makikita niyo po ito. Tapos sa upper left, ayan po, record. Ayan. Tapos, pwede ka na magsalita. Lahat ang sasabihin mo from this point forward ay ang inyong PowerPoint. No? Tapos, pwede niyo pong i-click yung control, yung i-left click nyo yung inyong mouse para ma-highlight. Kasi po, itong cursor lang, so kailangan i-control nyo yung control, tapos left click. May gusto ko yung i-highlight. Tapos, next slide na tayo. Pwede niyo pong ituloy-tuloy yung next slide. Tapos, pwede niyo tuloy-tuloy yung lesson niyo, the square root of the sum, etc., etc. Pag okay na, i-click on stop. Tapos, balik na kayo, escape. Ayan, mapapansin po ninyo, meron nakalagay dito ng mga parang speaker. No, speaker lang siya. No, hindi po yung makikita sa video. Parang naka-voice over lang po tayo. Ngayon, kung gusto niyo po ninyo na kita yung itsura po natin habang nagdi-discuss tayo, pwede naman yun. Again, slideshow, record slide from the beginning. Para umpisahan po natin. Ayan, dito sa lower right corner, may microphone dito sa video. Naka-disable po yung sa akin kasi ayoko po, medyo nahihiya po ako magpakita. No? Click po natin yan. Lalabas na yung mukha ninyo doon. No? Tapos, kung okay na kayo sa setup na yan, click on record. Pwede na kayong simulang mag-discuss. Hello everyone, our lesson for today is about solving problems involving radicals. Let's go. Next slide. The first question is the square root of etc. etc. Lahat po ng babanggitin nyo or sasabihin nyo, recorded na. And then click on stop. Try po natin na escape natin para bumalik dun sa ating presentation. And then, ito, slideshow. O kaya pinutin po natin yung F5 na nasa ating keyboard. F5, o kaya ito na lang, pwede rin yan. F5. Hello everyone, our lesson for today is about solving problems involving radicals. Let's go. Next slide, the first question is the square root of etc. etc. Lahat po ng babanggitin nyo or sasabihin nyo, recorded na. And then click on, okay. So it's very important na nire-review po natin yung mga binanggit natin. Sabi nga kanina, di ba, sa strategy, when you record video, make sure na one of the good reasons why we record our lesson is for us to review what we say on our video or on our lesson. So ngayon, paano ba gawing video na yan dahil ngayon nakapag-record na tayo? Punta po tayo ng file, dito lang, sa taas. Tapos, export. Okay? Again, file. Tapos, baba po, export. And then, bibigyan ka ng option dito, with video. Tapos, bibigyan ka ng option, another, naka full HD po yung default niya. Magandang quality na po yun, yung full HD. Tapos, click nyo lang po ito, create video. And then, papipiliin ka niya saan mo gustong i-save yung video. Pero ako, usually, ginagawa ko talaga laging desktop para madaling makita. And then, you can rename. Kasi kukopihan niyo lang po yung pangalan ng PowerPoint niyo kasi no, yung file name niya. Pwede, you can rename this one. This is my recording. Yeah, this is my first video lesson. And then, sa baba po ng inyong video, ng PowerPoint presentation, papakita niya kung anong level na or gaano na karami yung nako-convert niya into video. The longer the video, the longer the time it takes for it to be exported. No? Tapos, lalabas lang po yon sa ating desktop. So, yun na. Ganun lang po siya kadali. Again, sabi ko nga po kanina, kulang talaga yung 2 hours para ma-maximize natin or ma-discuss natin lahat ng kailangan ma-discuss on the positive use. Okay. Balik po tayo sa presentation. Pwede nyo na pong itanong ngayon, presentation. Tumikot lang siya. Ayan. Medyo late talaga yung YouTube. Anyway, so item 11, 4 na lang po ito. Or yes, bali pang 5 pala to. We need to remember that we have to give specific instruction, especially when we ask our students to do a performance task. Ibigay niyo na po kaagad yung inyong rubric para alam po nila kung saan sila magko-focus. No, 'di ba? Sa traditional face-to-face classroom nga, kapag may binigay kang instruction, madalas magtatanong pa agad 'yan. No, let's say get 1/4, write your name, your section, day-to-day. Tapos magtatanong pa kung 1/4 po ba o ano. Okay? So dito lalo na paano pa kaya kung online, no? You have to give specific instructions para maiwasan po natin yung mga nagtatanong kahit madaling araw na. Dahil na-open na rin 'yon, share ko lang, my colleagues kapag po may nag-message, lalo na kapag madaling araw at gising naman po tayo, let's try to entertain them. Bakit po? Baka po kasi yun lang yung time ng estudyante para ma-access yung messenger niya or makapanghiram ng cellphone. Malay po natin, di ba? So try po natin i-entertain yung mga yan. Next, bilisan na po natin. Use existing resources. Napakarami pong pre-developed resources na available online. Ang kailangan lang talaga natin gawin ay mag-devote ng time para ma-explore yung mga yon. Okay? Pwede natin gamitin yung DepEd TV, no, yung mga DepEd Commons natin, yung OER, yung Open Educational Resources. No, ang challenge nga lang po talaga ay we need to devote our time. Next, provide interactive activities. Marami pong mobile applications ngayon na available na pwede natin magamit na related sa ating lesson. Pwede po natin gamitin yun. Incorporate po natin sa ating mga lessons. Insert activities that will allow students to actively participate even they study at home. 14. Ito, share ko lang po yung story nito. The wise old man, the young boy, and the little sparrow. Namnamin po natin. Ang gandang kwento yan. Wait lang po. Ayusin ko lang yung aking interface. Ayan. In a small village, there lived a wise old man to whom everyone turned for guidance and advice. One day, a young boy decided he would confront the old man with a question that he knew the old man would never be able to answer correctly. His plan was to find a little bird and hold it cupped in his hands, hidden from sight. Natitest niya daw yung parang wise old man. He would then approach the wild old man and ask him to guess what he had buried in his hands. If the old man answered it correctly, he would then ask him, the singer, whether the bird is alive or dead. If the old man said the bird was alive, the boy would crush the bird with his hands and kill it, thereby proving the old man was wrong. But said it was dead, the boy would open his hands and let the bird fly free, demonstrating at last the old man was not as wise as everyone thought him to be. Next, so the boy ventured off and found a little sparrow that fit neatly within his hands. So nakaharap na po siya ng bird. Test niya ngayon yung wise old man. As he approached the old man, the boy said, "Wise old man, can you tell what I have in my hands?" "Why, of course, I can." The old man responded without hesitation. Sabi pa niya, from all the small feathers clinging to your jackets and pants, it is plain to see it is a little bird that you have cradled in your hands. So nahulaan niya na talagang bird yung hawak ng bata. Ngayon, ito na yung zinger ng bata. Sasabihin niya na, tatanong niya na. That's so, the young boy exclaimed. But is the bird alive or dead? Tandaan po natin ang plano ng bata ay Kapag hinulaan ng wise man na yung bird ay buhay, papatayin niya na lang yung bird. Kapag naman sinabi ng wise old man na napatay yung bird, ang gagawin niya lang ay palalayaan niya yung bird. Now, open niya lang yung hands niya. Continue na rin. Again, but is the bird alive or dead? The old man paused for a moment, then rubbed his chin in contemplation of his response. Looking the young boy in the eyes, the old man replied in a soft tone, "Whether the bird is alive or dead is in your hands, my child. The choice is yours." So what does this story tell us? No, that our learners, our students, or the future of our students lies in our hands. So let's do our work, let's do our responsibility as a teacher. Gawin po natin lahat to better facilitate learning among our learners. Next, item 14, second to the last na ito, show your care. Wait lang. Show your care for your students. Be honest with how you feel. You may tell them that you are willing to learn and do your best to support their learning. Kung lahat naman tayo nag-a-adjust, kung hindi po tayo marunong gumawa pa ng PowerPoint presentation, we can ask from our students na tulungan po tayo para makapag-develop ng isa. And alam naman natin na students do not care how much we know until they know how much we care. Pag nakita ng bata na willing tayong gawin ang isang bagay para sa ikatututo niya, makukuha po natin yung heart niya. No? In that way, mas magiging motivated siya na pumasok sa klase natin at mag-aral ng mabuti. Next, ang last po ay item 15, of course, explore. No? Teachers are lifelong learners. Isa ito sa mga good qualities ng isang 21st century teacher. Huwag po tayong matakot gumamit ng bagong strategy in our class para matuto yung mga bata. So, with that, tapusin ko na po yung ating presentation. Thank you so much. That's all. Thank you po. Stop ko na yung video.
All right, so thank you so much, Sir Diezer. So it is true po, no, that the future of our learners lies in our hands. Thank you so much po to our resource speakers. Now we shall now move to the awarding of the certificates to our resource speakers. All right, so the certificates shall be awarded by Sir Hermes Vargas, our school principal 3, as well as Sir Jefferson Caragdag, the OIC Assistant School Principal 2. All right, so allow me po, no, to read the contents of the certificate. So certificate of recognition. The certificate is awarded to Madam Sherilyne L, Reyes, Master Teacher 1, in recognition of her meritorious role as resource speaker during the in-service training, instilling the needs for skills enhancement of teachers, empowering teachers for continuing learners' education in the new normal. given at Francisco G. Nepomuceno Memorial High School, City Center, Pandan, Angeles City on March 18, 2021. Vargas, LPT, School Principal 3, and Madam Sherilyne P. Tamayo, PhD, SESE, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent. And of course, a certification of recognition will also be awarded to Dimaano, teacher, secondary school teacher 3, for being out this day. All right, so once again, thank you to our resource speakers, Madam Sherilyne and Sir Diezer. And before we end our session, we have few reminders po, no? So the submission, verification, and checking of second quarter grades is still ongoing, as well as the accomplishing of School Form 9. So that concludes our 5-day in-service training. Thank you all so much po and have a good day ahead.